north of Florida Boulevard at 4-Wheel Auto Parts, incident 862 RD936.
I remember seeing it on the news.
I doubt if anyone could think anything else other than that was just a horror.
I saw the bombing of the houses, and what I didn't understand is why they were continually letting it burn.
You're just watching it and going, it was something that was bad. You wish it never happened, but it did happen, so.
You know, that's kind of a legacy of Philadelphia, you know, that we did that to our own people.
I was in my own home in Manayunk watching the news or whatever was on, and it came on my TV like a shock. I think when you see something like that, you just think of a million things at once. Like first you don't think it's you don't want to think it's real. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, there's been a lot of news about the movement and what they advocated and what they thought and their way of living and their lifestyle. And the powers that be wanted to get rid of them. I don't want to say eliminate, but wanted to get rid of them and their way of doing things.
Different part of the city for me, so it didn't have effect on me. You're just watching it and going, you know, it was something that was bad. You wish it never happened, but it did happen. So, I mean, the media was out there for days, from what I remember. I mean, it was on the news every day up until what happened. So, the media got everything from pretty much the beginning to the end. And the thing that I remember the most was pretty much the neighborhood burning to the ground, and just like you're watching that and going, man, just people lost everything they worked for. So. That's not good, you know?
And I just don't know. I just don't know what the mayor of our city was really thinking at that time, because he was really listening to others. And sometimes, since he was the fire commissioner, I guess Good thought that he knew what was best. Right. And knew, I don't think he realized the damage that fire would cause. But just dropping a bomb, I mean, what do you expect when you drop a bomb?
So my memory, well, I'm 82 years old, so it's not an excuse, but it's just a fact. And I'm thinking, why do I not remember what happened after all that? That's what I don't remember. I mean, after that happened, you almost didn't care. Right. You almost didn't care. That was the outcome. That was horrible. Yeah. The news would always give you little tidbits of, there's a problem. Like, you know, we knew something was going on there. Whatever that, I even forget the name of the street. What was it? Right. How did I forget that? I just think nobody could ever imagine it would come to that. Right. I don't care what people say led up to it. To me, there was nothing that could lead up to it.
A lot of things, it really divided the city. Right. It was like the sentiment. I think everybody in the city felt sorry. Well, maybe everybody didn't, because they were so against the movement. Right. And what they stood for, because they were non-conventional. Mm-hmm. They were kind of arrogant in their ways, and the city wasn't willing to negotiate with them, and there was just a lot of animosity. And we see the end result. When you don't communicate and try to compromise and get an understanding, right. This is what happens, right. Sadly. Yeah.
I came on way after that, so it wasn't really even talked about. Nope, nah, nobody talked about it on the job. Yeah, I came on the job in 2003. So that was it was almost 20 years before that, you know what I mean? So nobody even talked about it. If you want to go back to nature and you want to live like that, you don't do it in a neighborhood. You don't do it in a house. If you want to live like you're in the woods, go live in the woods. I mean, the impact that the MOVE members had on that neighborhood was all negative. There wasn't one positive that came out of those people living there. The whole neighborhood wanted them gone. They wanted them physically removed, and when the police tried to do that, it just didn't work.
Look at both sides. And that's how because I always say there's two sides to every coin. So as you look at both sides and understand MOVE and their way of living, they didn't do this. They were not conventional in any way. They didn't wash, they didn't this, they didn't do, they didn't send the kids out, they ate certain kinds of foods and everything. Right. But when you think about it, people have a right to live as they want to, as long as you're not disturbing or disrupting anything else. I don't know. Right. And then so I feel sorry for them, but then it puts this city and your neighbors in a peculiar situation because they want their way of living and surviving. Right. You live peacefully, I live peacefully. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we thought about it and then we forgot it. Not forgot, but didn't think of the severity or the... what's the word? I think it was kind of like that. Like when time goes by, plus a lot of other things have happened. Right. But I don't think nothing worse has happened. Not my estimation. I don't think so. You couldn't think of this. I doubt if anyone could think anything else other than that was just a horror. Right. And I don't know what it could solve that made any sense. The fact that I'm thinking about this again actually makes me feel a little embarrassed that that's how we are about not forgetting things. Put them in the back of your mind, or that's over with. It can't be over with. It has to affect stuff. It has to be the beginning of bad feelings, but that could have been a big reason why we all changed.
The media, for the most part, they hate the police. They just do. It's the majority of them. Just watch the news. The police are the bad guys. The bad guys are the good guys. So the media back then wasn't the way it is today. It wasn't divided. The media back then had legitimate reporters who were going for the truth. Okay, so there was no finger pointing that I recall. It was just a really bad incident that happened that you wish never happened. You didn't even have to live in the city of Philadelphia. You just wish it never happened.
We have to listen to each other. Nobody cared they didn't care what the mayor or anybody thought. They thought they were so right. We didn't care about them. That was sad. That's the takeaway. I think we have to listen to people. It doesn't matter how long it takes, or especially when there's families. And today no one would stand for anybody hurting their family. Everybody sues everybody for that kind of stuff. But I just think the answer is none of us really listen to each other. We really don't. No, when I say, I don't mean everybody. No, most people, you know what I'm saying. It's just, I feel like I don't listen enough to. And you can't be disinterested. That's not the answer. You can't just say, so it's the government will take care of it, or you're obviously no, they don't. So,
what I took away from it was it's a shame it happened. I feel worse for you feel bad for the little kids because they had no control of anything, and then some of the little kids I'm sure died in that. But what the neighborhood went through, what those people had to go through, it's bad. And it wasn't the city's fault, it was the MOVE members' fault. They brought all that to that neighborhood and brought that kind of a mess to the people who lived there. So for me, I feel worse for the people who had to live out there and deal with the MOVE members than I do for the MOVE members. Like I said, with the MOVE members, you want to live that way? go live in the woods. Knock yourself out. There's plenty of space out there. You can live any way you want. But you don't do that in a neighborhood. So, like I said, it's a shame that it happened, but it is what it is, You just wish it didn't happen. So.
There's a way to resolve issues. There's a way you can talk to people and talk out things. If you can't do it yourself, then you can find others because there's always somebody who can help to resolve a situation. We're all different. We think differently. We look differently. We act differently. So the city was, you can say, at war with MOVE. It was the city against MOVE, MOVE against the city. So yeah, I learned to take away that we have to learn to live together no matter who you are. Respect everybody and try to, just leave people alone and let them live their lives. And don't be judgmental. Don't you judge my lifestyle. I don't judge your lifestyle. Don't criticize my way of living, and I won't criticize your way of living. Because none of us are judges. We're not the great judge. The great judge.